It's clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobbering time!
Clobberonimo!
Yeah, welcome, friends, to Monday Night Moxie Comics Talk here on Clobbering Times. Number 460 on YouTube, number 1,160 over all of the past 13 and a half plus years. Good to see you, my friends. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Of course, it is always a special night when I have a great guest, like one of the guys I've known longest here over YouTube, one of my greatest buddies, Stone Loki. What's up, bro?
Not much, brother, but we are here to talk about Superman, and you know that is a topic I absolutely positively enjoy. So
Yes,
I
sir.
am ready to rock and roll, brother.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I cannot wait. Always love it. We try to at least average one of these DC animated reviews a month, team up of reviews a month, average a month. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than that, but we try to do that, folks, and because we try to stretch it a little bit out because there aren't that many left. But we've got a good one here for you tonight. And before we get started with show notes, show notes are we don't have any particular show notes, but I want to thank everybody who showed up. What a crowd, what a raucous crowd we had for Saturday Night Star Trek. It's been getting crazy. And you guys, whoever, anyone else who out there showed up, please accept my thanks. I really appreciate you. You were too kind. What a great time we had on Saturday night. It was wild stuff. Love reviewing Deep Space Nine. So, let's see here. Let's start out with our hellos. I always like to acknowledge the great Vindicator Wrench of the North, the extraordinary Chris Persia. What's up, buddy? Always great to have you there, man. Thanks for all you do. Really, and whether they're here or not, our other two great master wrenches are always getting a shout out. The great bronze wrencher himself, Eric K., and the great wrench of iron, D. Bud Martin. Appreciate you both. Thank you so much. Always, just you guys just do so much for us, and we just cannot thank you enough. Who else is here with us tonight? Phantom Outsider, what's up, buddy? Let's see here. Classic Comics, what's up, Classic Comics? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Who else is here? Stephen M, Cal L, the great Super One. What's up, buddy? Always a pleasure. There's D-Bud. Hey, buddy. I shout the wrenchers out, whether they're here or not, because they do so much for us. Ironhide 84. What's up, my friend? Gwagnar! I can't say it like Raquel does, buddy, but good to see you. Lemon Pie. Hey there. Uh-oh. A Polymese minion is here. We always got to show the pupper. Look at the truck doggy.
I got kisses from the pupper in Dallas. I got kisses. That pupper was just like, oh my God, it's Loki. And I was like, oh my God, it's puppers.
Yay, pupper. We love seeing the pupper there, Polly. Hope you're doing well and being careful out there, young lady. Let's see here. M indeed. Thank you all so much for the M for the great Mark C. He loved Superman. We all know that, and he would have loved this topic tonight. Let's see. Let's see in there. Make sure I got everybody before we get it. Oh, Maddie's daddy. What's up, Steve? What's up, bro? Good hanging with you last night on Mark D's geekery there. Appreciate you, buddy. So tonight, folks, it is indeed another DC animation review. We've reviewed so far. Let's see here. We've see if I can. I doubt I'll be able to remember them all. I think didn't we review those stupid long Halloween things? I think we did that.
We did. But the first one we did was A Mask of the Phantasm. What a way to start.
No, we did that before. No, actually, we did those long Halloweens before we were even doing this regularly. But yes, the first one of our official team up though was the great Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes, it was.
We've done Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. There's Minimus there. Yo, shout out Minimus. We've done. Let's see here. We had a fun animated Christmas shorts. Christmas shows. DC animated special.
We did
for Christmas last year. We've had
Superman versus the Elite.
Superman versus the Elite. We've had Superman, Batman Apocalypse.
Public Enemy.
We did Public Enemies after we did the Batman. And this is in no particular order now because I can't remember the exact order. We did Public Enemy. We also did Apocalypse. We did Justice League Doom, Justice League New Frontier, Green Lantern First Flight, Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Didn't we do Emerald Knights?
We did Emerald Knights.
Okay, and we've done Batman Under the Red Hood last time. We did that.
Yes, we did.
That may be all of them so far that I could think of. And this one was a long time in coming. Now I wish I was like the great Mark D with a C and had a nice slideshow for you and all that other kind of stuff, but I don't know how he does all that stuff. So we just show a picture and talk about the movie. We're very low tech here about it, but that's okay. For those who do not know, this came out in 2010. All-Star Superman. And
based on a comic
book of the same name, which was a 12-issue miniseries, 10 or 12 issues, maybe 12, which I liked very much, by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. And it is definitely Cliff's Notes in the sense that it definitely leaves a lot of things out there. And and this is a wonderful, enjoyable film, by the way, in my opinion. But there's things that I could understand them leaving out. Some other things I really wish they had not left out. But one of the things that I love about the animation, Tim Stock on your left, good to see you, bud. I love that the animation, as much as I really like the 12-issue series art by Frank Quitely, he's not to everyone's taste. Some, if you know what I'm saying. He has some things that think his faces are a little harsh and stuff, right? So, just to give you an idea, again, it's just, I don't know, but I think
the animation's got to be good.
Better. Well, yes, I think the animation. I like that they toned that down a little bit. I like that that they softened it up. Let's put it like that. How about we put it like that? If you want to. Yeah. Not to put too fine a point on it, but here's an example of what he looks like in the comic. Because a lot of there are people who don't like the way Frank quietly draws faces, and they say so. They say like, yeah, his face, everybody's ugly and weird looking. And you know, I get where they're coming from.
You want the art to be good. You want the art to be good. You want to get.
I like his art. Don't get me wrong. Hello, Michael Carney. Good to see you there. I like his art, and I love the comic. I'm fine with it. I'm just saying there are people that don't like his art. You see, the faces are they're different. And this is here, for example, is an example that we're going to talk about the movie, of course, but one wonderful scene in the comic that was not in the movie. And this is just again a sample of what the art looked like. But aside from them softening the art up a little bit, the look to the faces, the animation and art is still very, very faithful to the comic book, and still brings forth the great feel of the comic. And we're going to go through the story in a second. I just wanted to establish that the comic is great. Anyone, at least I think it is, anyone who has not read All-Star Superman, you can do a lot worse than hunting that down and taking a look at it. Because I think it's a great comic. And I've reread it just relatively recently. Going to review it eventually again, the whole thing. And when we do a comic book review, we go out, we'll show all the pictures and stuff. You can't really show a lot of pictures from an animation thing, obviously. Well, I can't. But we don't do that here. We just kind of just talk about the movies. Unless, Loki, that's kind of the way we've been handling it.
Yeah.
But this film, just to backtrack a little bit, the comic book, Grant Morrison kind of talked about this back when the comic came out around 2005 or 6, whatever it was, somewhere up in there. Hey, Donnie Pearson, welcome. Good to see you. Morrison was a big, big Superman fan. Now, he's written a lot of comics I've loved and a lot of them I don't like. Whoa, hearing some. Did you turn your mic up? Yeah, cool. I can hear you though. So good. See, Grant Morrison. I don't know if you've read much of his stuff, Loki, but he's written some things I really love and some things I really loathe. He's covered it all.
Is that better?
Now I hear you. There's a little feedback, but you're good. As long as we can hear you, that's all that matters. Everyone hearing him okay? There's some kind of feedback going on, so but you're good, man. Your background noise, but I got that too, probably.
Let me see.
No, you're good now. You're good now. You're good now. It's not that bad. Say something.
Hello.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. Everyone hearing him okay? Sound check. Anyone give us a sound check on Loki, if you would. Say something again.
Yep.
Oh, you're good. You're fantastic. Okay. So, Grant Morrison talked about how, in 2005, this is what Superman, in his eyes, would have been without all the reboots and all the revamps and garbage that was happening. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. In 1986, John Byrne came along and totally revamped and discarded and dumped on a lot of Superman's history. And then after that, they kept doing it over and over again. I mean, they kept doing it more so. And they had stuff like a little bit much later. They had Superman Rebirth and all these other things. Claude Salling, hello there. Ironhide 84. Hey. So this is Morrison saying this is basically he's the Silver and Bronze Age Superman if he has not been messed around with and depowered and all this kind of nonsense. And that's what it felt like. That's the feeling that you get when you read the comic is he's been around forever, but he hasn't been, his origin hasn't been messed around with. It hasn't been tweaked. And yes, it's in a sense, I guess you could definitely call this an Elseworlds comic. But it still had that. It's kind of what he was going for because he thought it was interesting to tell a story about Superman with his powers are just growing and growing. But now they've grown to the point that they're killing him. And that's the premise you have here is Superman saves a manned flight into the sun for Dr. Quintum, whatever the guy's name was. Quintilium or whatever the guy's name was. And it overdoes something to his cells to the point where he's starting to die. It's killing him. We all know, we find out later who's responsible for this. It was not an accident.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Throw a softball at you. The other night on the round table, we did a show called Who is Superman?
Yes.
And I think that's above every other animated movie I've watched from DC. This nails that question, and it hits it out of the park. So what I'd ask is, first off, who is Kal-El of Krypton? Then who is Superman? And finally, the answer to all of that is Clark Kent. Even though Superman uses Clark Kent as a disguise, the real person underneath that suit, the real man from Krypton, the man from Krypton, the amazing man of steel, Superman. Dun, 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 dun. That's really all Clark Kent. And if you take the Kents out of the equation, you do not have this man of steel. He's not the same person. He's not going to be the same person. That's the one thing I absolutely hate about the end of this. When we get to the end is, whoa, just because you might have the possibility to have another Kryptonian, that means absolutely nothing to the fact of Superman is a one-of-a-kind superhero that was raised by two wonderful people that absolutely loved him and taught him right from wrong. That is why he does what he does. It's not the fact that he's a Kryptonian. Jor-El had almost nothing to do with that. It is Ma and Pa Kent that made Clark Kent, and Clark Kent goes on to be Superman and Kal-El. But in the end of the day, he is Kent. He is a Kent. That is what defines him more than anything, is his parents and the people that made him Clark Kent.
So what is your question?
What do you have without that? Who is
Nothing.
Superman without that?
And,
Nothing.
Quentin Tarantino doesn't know what he's talking about. Put it like that. He is Clark Kent because certainly was born Kal-El. And he acknowledges his Kryptonian heritage, of course, and he has all these abilities. But he is at his very soul, he's Clark Kent. Superman is the identity. That's his public persona for the superhero. The superhero is definitely Superman. The superhero in him, and that's his superhero job title is Superman. It's like his job title, if you will, his job of saving things. But of course, his essence is definitely Clark Kent and the Kents. That's what people like Zack Snyder and Quentin Tarantino don't understand. So this movie, this comic and this movie, because I have my problems with Morrison, but this comic and this movie, and of course, Dwayne McDuffie, the late Dwayne McDuffie, does a good job of translating this movie to this because it's 12 issues. You couldn't fit it all into a movie, and I understand that. He did a good job though. This movie is gloriously Superman. Every inch of it's gloriously Superman to me. I don't even have a problem with the ending. That was taken from the comic anyway. And the comic, when we first read it, led me to believe that, he left it wide open. Maybe, I don't think. In other words, he's not. I don't think he's gone. Superman doesn't stay dead ever, so that's fine. They just left it kind of open-ended. But we're not spoiling anything, everyone. If you haven't seen the movie, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There will be spoilers. In fact, let me be fair. Let me go ahead. Hang on. Let me make my. Let's see.
A banner.
We'll make a banner. Wouldn't that be nice of us? Let's do that. All Star Superman. Spoilers. Yeah. Spoilers.
You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, but we're going to, why not be nice? Because some people pop right in and they see that and they go, I haven't seen this yet. And that's perfectly understandable. So now, Matthew Pounder, what's up, buddy? So, for me, this movie is gloriously Superman in every single possible way. It celebrates Superman in every single possible way. Decepticon, what's up, Sean, buddy? Superman is the thing here. And the characterization is the Superman I know and love and always did. I've always loved, one of my favorite things is because it's a pet peeve of mine, so I like seeing this thrown back in the faces of people who like to say the following: well, Superman's too powerful. He's never interesting to me because he's too powerful. Remember, you ever met any of those people?
Oh yeah.
Superman's too powerful. I like Batman better. No, I love Batman, so it's not a contest to me. But you'll hear that usually this was going on a lot, by the way, in the 80s and 90s and those grim times when Superman was not. Look, people now, you hear a lot of people talk very fondly of Superman. There was a time, okay, 80s and 90s, where people weren't really doing that. Not, I mean, obviously, most people loved him, but you were hearing a common refrain in the pop culture. Every time Batman would come up, somehow to uplift Batman, people would, idiots now, of course, idiots would try to edify Batman by bringing Superman down. And they would say shit like, I like Batman, but the reason why Batman's such a great character, and then they'll go into ripping on Superman. And they'll say, you can love both, jackass. They're both great.
Well, Clobby, I called him a damn Boy Scout. I had this thing like, why? Okay, for me, and this was obviously before Death of Superman, which I mean got me back into DC Comics, so I love it. It's nostalgia. It's one of those nostalgic things that, well, this is why I love it. But he was a Boy Scout. He never got hurt. Nothing ever seriously happened to him. And you start looking at him and taking that for granted. You do. I mean, why do I need to keep up with Superman in the comics when I know nothing's going to happen to Superman? Over on Marvel, I was getting like Wolverine getting torn to shreds and the X-Men almost getting defeated and Magneto almost winning. And there were all these things that were going on at the time where I was like, well, I don't have to worry about Superman and reading about Superman because nothing's ever going to happen to Superman. You get this, he's so powerful and he's so just Superman that I don't have to worry about him while I'm worried about this. And then he died. And as I've said before, when that kid in that comic is like, I took him for granted. I never thought anything like this could ever happen. That was me, Clobby. That was me. That was teenage Loki going, I took my greatest superhero for granted. And now he's dead and he's going to be gone. Of course, they lied to us all and fooled us. But for a while there, I really thought that I had lost the greatest superhero I ever had.
Well, you were just a younger dude. I guess I was old and jaded. It didn't fool me. I knew they were going to, just a gimmick, they were going to bring him back. But I hear you. But see, I can't stand that crap, though. That was something that if you'd been a little kid in the comic shop standing next to me, I'd say, listen, kid. And I'd been yelling at you. Because I'd been going, look. Because my opponent was getting to about this was people, when they start that stuff, they always say, he's too powerful. He's not interesting. And so their answer is always to depower him.
No, that'd be horrible.
So that's why. And they've been doing it. Look, Byrne did it. Everyone after him did it. And then Morrison comes along with All-Star Superman. Now, Decepticon's saying something about the movies. I love All-Star Superman, since we're talking about it, obviously, and Superman versus the Elite. I did not like Superman Unbound, but, maybe I should give it another watch. It's been a while. Decepticon, maybe I'll like it better. I don't know. But here's the thing. That's not here to there. So this movie deals with something that, just as this comic dealt with something, that was always, I was so impressed that Morrison did it, because Superman being too powerful always had these idiots, in my opinion. Now, I wasn't calling a young you idiot, by the way. I didn't know you were one, but always had people saying he's not interesting because he's too powerful.
It wasn't that he was too interesting. It was like, more of like, I don't have to worry about getting that Superman book because Superman's going to be okay. There's nothing anyone's ever going to do that really is going to threaten Superman. He's always going to find a way out of it. It's more of I took him for granted.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you, but that's every superhero, really, because you don't know who superhero is going to stay dead or even get killed most of the time. Even Batman, who can be hurt, you knew he was going to be okay at the end of his comic book if you were a kid. But but anyway, this criticism was he was too powerful and we got to depower him. Is my point about this.
I hate that. Do you remember that? Do you remember when they were going to do that? What's his name? The guy who played Ghost Rider. When they were going to do the Nick Cage Superman, and he wasn't going to have powers, and he was going to have like a metal shield that had like ninja stars and stupid shit in it. And you're like, guys, how could you ever dream of doing a Superman movie like that, where he's got like batarangs and shit in his shield? No.
Script Doctor, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. See there, and again, so my whole point about this that I want to make, I really want to get to about this particular story, the comic and the movie, is this is the ultimate flip off in your face to all the people that said Superman stories with him all powerful, or be him at the height of his power, godlike power, are not interesting. They're always boring, and it makes him a boring character. They can all suck it. That's what the story is. It's the ultimate go suck it. That's not, and it proves that it's not the case. Because at the beginning of this episode, at the beginning of the film and the comic, again, most of everything in the film is in the comic. It's just there's a lot of things in the film that they couldn't put in, from the comic. Okay, so it's very faithful in that way. When he goes, when Dr. Quintitum or whatever, that guy, I always forget the dude's name, you see at the beginning when he's lifted this thing up with one hand, he said, that's the heaviest object, that's the heaviest, like gazillion tons or whatever he tells him. And Superman says, I feel like I could do more. He said, I'm sure you could. We don't have anything heavier.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that in the 80s into the 90s, Superman's critics were always saying, he's too powerful. He can move planets. Well, I don't care if he can move planets. If you can do good stories with him, fine. This Superman right here could move planets, and I'm fine with it. And it's still a great story. And this thing is so gloriously everything about Superman, and it proves that you can tell a great Superman story from get-go without screwing around with its origin one bit. First of all.
People need to quit doing that. Quit screwing around.
That's
why I brought that question up, is that you can't screw with that. You cannot screw with the Ma and Pa Kent aspect of any of that. No, it's got to be the way it is, and it's got to be that lesson. He has to learn that lesson, even with all of his powers. Those key words, I couldn't save him. Yeah, you can't screw with that.
No. I mean, all you have to do is find a worthy adversary for him without depowering him. And they do that here from get-go, because he reaches this ridiculous scene at the power and he starts dying. And the whole movie is about him dying. I keep saying movie and comic because they're both very close to the same thing. We'll do like a bonus thing after we get through talking about the movie. I'll tell you about some of the things from the comic that I wish they put in there without spoiling anything from the comic book. But this movie is, I guess it's like what? A little, an hour and a half, maybe?
A little, about an hour and a half.
But, yeah. With a really good voice cast. This thing, every bit of this thing is yes, you get Clark Kent stuff. And you watch this now. This is 2010 when this thing came out. You watch it now and you think all the water that's come under the bridge with the character of Superman, like, for example, now everyone just takes for granted that he was married to Lois and she knows who he is. This movie, you get the classic fun of she doesn't know who he is. You get the classic fun of the Daily Planet being the way it used to be. Everything feels like the old days, and none of this modern-y crap where they're married and with kids and all this other kind of horse hockey that I don't like in the Superman mythos personally. So you got that going for you. Morrison really always loved he loves the Christopher Reeve Superman. Clark Kent acts very much like the Christopher Reeve Superman. The Christopher Reeve Clark Kent in this film.
Oh yeah, he's slouching, he's afraid.
Right.
You saw that Clobby put up a picture earlier of one of the covers where he's like hiding and cowering behind Lex Luthor. It's brilliant. The way they do Superman in this is absolutely brilliant. Clark Kent.
Yes, Clark is, again, there's still a big difference between the two, which is great. He still loves doing that. So there's automatically, you start out with some really spectacular Superman stuff. We find out he's dying. Then we find out that, this is none of this modern rubbish and baggage to the character. This is old school stuff. It's still, because again, like I said at the outset, for anyone who wasn't here, Morrison's whole point to the comic book, and then was carried over in the movie by Dwayne McDuffie very well, was this is basically your Silver and Bronze Age Superman, just who aged out into in the 21st century, but stayed the same without any stupid revamps. Looking at you, John Byrne, and Mark Waid. So it feels like classic Superman. He acts like classic Superman. This revels in classic Superman, and it's just it has a very episodic feel to the film, which I love. Taking Lois for a birthday to the all that stuff in the Fortress of Solitude, which is fantastic. I mean, so many great scenes. I love the scene when they get to the fortress and she asks him where that remember the big key?
Yep.
And he said, well, it was getting a little conspicuous, whatever. So he just pulls a key from under the mat and he goes to open the door. And she goes, well, that's not going to do much good. He said, we'll try to lift it up. He said he carved it from a dwarf star. It's millions and millions of tons. Just that's total Superman, dude. That's perfect. It's just this thing is, by the way, beautifully animated. I love the robots. I love everything about every scene in this movie, and I love everything about the stuff in the Fortress of Solitude. And what a great idea! And this is from the comic when to imagine the birthday present he gives to Lois, gives her superpowers for a day. Just so highly entertaining. And I like all that scene, the scenes and stuff with when she's going paranoid at first because she's starting to get scared in the fortress.
Oh yeah.
And it was fun. Love that costume, by the way. Whew.
Oh, for Lois?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Because you know what? I've never been much of a Lois guy. I like Lana better, but I think Lois is a bitch. But Superman loves her, so
yeah, I don't know. It all depends on the Lois that. Like, I love the Lois Lane in the filter ones. She's always like, "Well, I'm gonna go and get the story," and then she goes and gets the story and ends up, sticking her foot in it. And here comes Superman. Oh, well, at least Superman was there, right, Clark? And you're that's right, Lois. I don't know. I love that dynamic between her and Clark.
Oh yeah. Decepticon, I see what you're saying, but it doesn't take away from the story for me. I mean, it's just I don't like that All-Star contributes to the idea that the best Superman stories are origin or death of stories because you can't do anything with the character otherwise. Never liked that. I don't like that idea either, but I'm not gonna say it detracts from a good story that happens to have that in it, because this does have that in this, and I love the story. So I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, I do love Lori Lamaris as well, D-Bud, certainly. I see what you're saying, but I can't ding the story for that. I mean, although I understand where you're coming from, I still love it.
Isn't it amazing how you've got the top two characters in Detective Comics in DC at Warner Brothers? The top two is a guy that has godlike power and a guy that has no superpowers. He has just honed his human body to a razor edge and has a mind just as sharp. Those are the two biggest names at DC, is Superman and Batman. One of them has powers, the other one doesn't have superhuman powers, but he is what would you say, the top specimen of humanity, Clobby?
Oh, Soups?
No.
Batman. Batman is the ultimate human. Sorry, I meant Batman. Sorry, is the ultimate human. Big Dave G Sound. What's up, buddy?
And even we learn that in this movie that Clark's not a great Kryptonian. He's not, and it takes the Kryptonians a little while to realize that their arrogant, up their own ass activities aren't up to snuff to who Superman is and how he represents them.
Yeah. Oh, look at there, Cardinal Sin.
What is up, my brother?
With a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Cardi. Good to see you there, brother. I hope you're doing well, and thank you so that you were too kind. Ironhide said no. Oh, jeez, wow, that's an obscure reference. No love for Lila Rel. Wasn't she a Kryptonian actress or something from like the 60s or so, or like for the news, from the newspaper strip or something? I can't even remember. That's so old. Good. Well, that's a good reference there, dude. Das Wolfen's here. Hey, Das Wolfen. What's up, buddy? So yes, and it moves on. The story moves on, of course. Again, I wish I had stills and pictures, everybody. But let's see here. I at least have some pictures. I can show some pictures on the. There we go. Where is it? There we go. Again, the art's really nice. I love her outfit when they go flying around the Superman. It was a lot of fun when they ran into Samson and what's his face? Was it Apollo?
Yeah,
or whatever?
him.
Samson and man, what's the dude's name? Why am I forgetting the stupid name? Man, just watch the goddamn thing. I hate my stupid memory. Anyway,
You're
those
not
two
the only one
clowns.
who shit with names. I can remember Samson. That's easy enough. But
Yeah,
the other one.
but yeah, Hercules. He was Hercules. Yeah, I can't. That's why I can't remember it because it was too easy. Jesus. Oh yeah, from a weird story where Superman went back to Krypton before it blew up and became they're chums with Jor-El. That was a weird not an imaginary story, but it was an imaginary story. So, yeah, that was just total. That was some fun stuff. I like how they're flying around. He goes, oh, I didn't expect there to be an invasion from a subterranean lizard people, lizard people. And she goes, I'd have been disappointed if there weren't monsters. Oliver Belamonte, hey there, what's up, buddy? That's true. He speaks the truth.
Yeah, I tell you
wonderful
what,
Christina Hendricks.
that is one hot redhead, but that bitch is cray.
Is she?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always you see her in like Firefly, and she's in that one. She's in another show, but yeah, that apparently she's like all kinds of crazy.
You mean in real life?
Yeah, in real
Oh,
life.
okay. I did not know that. Wow. Well, she can be all the cray case she wants. She's one of the hottest redheads I've ever seen. Oh dear, oh dear. And anyway, wackiness ensues with the lizards, and and Hercules and what's his face, Samson. That was fun stuff. And again, this was just to show that they were those guys. They're these legends, but they know Superman's the king. When it was great when the arm wrestled him, he just took them down.
Have y'all started already? Oh, boom!
Yep, boom. It's just again, this movie's it has. They took as much of the fun stuff from the comic that they could. Now, I don't know if you read the comic anytime recently. If you ever read it,
No. It was I think it came out like 08.
Somewhere up in there.
08, 06. No, because it was once I moved out of Houston, I didn't collect comics for a while. It was a while before I'd start buying comics again. I just stored all my stuff and tried to keep as much of it together as possible and not get left behind somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's great. If you ever get a chance, it's a great comic. There's a scene that I really wish they had put in. This is it right here that I wish they had put in the movie, which would have been nice. Where there's this, this person, this person right there. They were just kind of showing the great humanity of Superman, and yes, humanity, not Kryptonian, and humanity because he's human. I don't care what anyone says. He's raised as a human. With this, as you can see, this weird goth chick or whatever is about to throw herself off a building, and Superman just stops and talks to her. And I won't go too deep into the scene because just read the comic, but it gives you just another insight into that Superman cares about everybody because that's why he's Superman.
And look at that description. How one page from All-Star Superman saved my life.
My life. Yes, that's an interesting article if I remember correctly. He's just, again, that's a powerful scene right there. I don't know. I'm not sure why I wish they put it in there. There was also a whole issue about Brainiac. Brainiac. I'm sorry. Bizarro, which was fantastic. And there was a Superboy reference, an issue that had a lot of Superboy in it. And unfortunately, there's an issue, that actually dealt with the death of Jonathan Kent. Here we just see, a scene later with at his tombstone. But it's powerful stuff. So it would have been like 4 hours, I guess. you're up against it when when you have only so much time. I understand you're trying to make it a concise, fast flowing, entertaining movie.
Well,
But
shit, Clobby, look what happened the last time they gave us a two-parter with Halloween. Look what a giant dumpster fire that turned into. I'm almost glad that we got the hour and a half we did instead of some woke bullshit two-parter that just completely ruins the entire idea.
yeah, but I don't think that would have happened with this if they'd done it way back then. That's modern. So this is 12 years ago, and this was Dwayne McDuffie was alive, and he wrote this thing. I don't know. I mean, not that he wrote some things on Justice League, the animated series that I didn't like, but for the most part, I think they probably would have just had more of the thing in there. Whereas they took Batman Long Halloween and just desecrated it, and just threw it in the garbage, especially for that horrible second part. But
Yeah.
I hear you. No, I think that we would have had a better chance for this to be good if they had done that. I would have loved to have seen that. We'll never see it now, though. So take what you can get, folks.
They could have just been honest with us and been like, this is the Long Halloween Catwoman edition. But they don't want to do that. They want to use the Batman name to promote what they're actually going to have the whole movie be about, which is Catwoman, which is not what it's supposed to be. It's not what we want. It's not what... Yeah. So.
Catwoman, the Long Halloween.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. So, eventually, after the birthday and stuff like that. The scene on the moon, dude.
Yeah.
When he takes Lois to the moon and stuff. All that stuff. Again, this movie is just gloriously basking in all the great stuff of Superman. Again, it's beautifully animated, by the way. I cannot say how great it is to look at. But we move on, and eventually we have the scene in the prison, which was taken. Everything's taken from the comic, but I mean, when Clark Kent goes to interview Luthor in the prison, that was a pretty amazing scene as well. Like you said, he likes to play the clumsy Clark.
And isn't it amazing he got away with all that without Luthor finding out that he's Superman?
Yes. Which leads to something which leads to a point that I'll get to later when we get toward the end of the story. Because this was a 12-issue maxi series that was episodic, the movie's episodic in the best of ways. And it really dealt with about 4 chunks. So there are a lot of things that aren't covered. It dealt with your beginning where we find out Superman's dying. It dealt with Superman realizing he's dying, so he's making his last goodbye to Lois and taking her out on what he did for her birthday. Then he's gonna go. He goes to basically interview Lex Luthor, who has been caught and sentenced by the world, to death. And we find out again, Luthor in this, played by was it? Someone put the name up there. I forgot. Oh yeah, Anthony LaPaglia. That was an interesting choice of voice for Luthor. Jamie Ditton as the voice of Superman is pretty good. Christine Henricks does a good job. LaPaglia, I took a little getting used to it as Luthor, but he was fine. I guess we probably all would have preferred Clancy Brown, right?
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. But you can't have everything. Where would you put it? So the voices are fine. Ed Asner is Perry White. And what was with Jimmy? Like he was was a cross-dresser or something, but I don't know. It was weird. It was good. They had Steve Lombard in the thing. They had Cat Krantz. So they had all the people from the various eras of the Daily Planet, which was kind of funny. We get a good smattering of all these different elements from Superman. Like I said, all the classic stuff. Daily Planet feels like Daily Planet. Fortress of Solitude is just again, because you don't get that a lot. In any other medium, you don't get to see the fortress like that, and it just looks so good.
Anytime you get to see the fortress, anytime you see Superman's sanctuary, yeah, you're impressed.
Right. And then bear in mind, remember, this is considered to be sort of an Elseworlds type deal where this is Morrison extrapolating the Silver and Bronze Age into the 21st century without all the revisionist baggage that comes in between. Remember, that's kind of he almost came out and said it back when he did an interview talking about it. He said, this is the Superman from that age if he hadn't been messed around with. He just, kept going. And he's got more and more powerful. So he's dying, but he's dealing with it. And he wants to leave the world, in a better shape. So he tells, he gets, Luthor actually helps Clark Kent escape. Which is funny because I love that bit. Luthor could escape anytime he wants to. He's right where he wants to be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is just classic Luthor. Luthor is very well written in this thing. Bruce McFadden says, hey, Bruce, good to see you. Says, Justice League Doom is better. Just saying. I love Justice League Doom. I'm not, so I'm not going to argue one way or the other. I might like this a little bit better, but it's cool. I'm fine with either because I love them both. So, what is it? So he tells her that he's going to take the bottle city of Kandor. He's found a planet for it. It's going to take him about 3 weeks.
Yep.
We come back, and another aspect from the comic is he comes back, and 2 Kryptonians have landed on Earth.
They dealt with that so quick. I'm really surprised they left that in there because that was like whippity doo, and they were done.
Yes. It was pretty interesting the way they kind of, and it is an issue of the comic, of course. So when he deals with the 2 Kryptonians, again, you were talking, it's funny because when you mentioned this earlier, you were talking about this earlier. This goes back to what you opened up with.
Yeah.
About him being Clark Kent. Because
this is why Krypton is destroyed. Because of up their own ass people like this. This is why Krypton was destroyed. I tell you right now, Jordan, Krypton is simply shifting its orbit. Dumb bitch. Listen to Jor-El.
This is exactly what you're talking about. These jerks come to Krypton. They come to Earth while he's gone for 3 weeks, and they reshape everything. They basically taking over the world. They're a bunch of basically supremacists, and elitist scum from Krypton think they're better than everybody else. And it's funny. I love how they kind of dealt with it. And here again, obviously, it's slightly different from the comic in some ways. I need to go back and reread the comic again. It's been about a couple of years since I reread it, and I'm going to review it again soon. I'm going to review the comic book, all 12 issues. But basically, they would have killed him. I mean, if they had a chance, they had no respect for him. They didn't treat humans well. They were going to do whatever they want with the planet and screw the apes. That's what they were going to do. And then it just so happened they didn't have his immunity because they just finds out they're dying because they took the shorter way around, and basically. And what does he do? Does he punish him? Does he beat the shit out of him? Does he actually treats them with compassion? Treats them with compassion that they don't even understand. And he says, my Earth parents raised me to be forgiving.
Yeah, and if he wasn't, he would have killed them both.
Yep. And they're the ones that, in order to save their lives, they suggested that he put them in the Phantom Zone. And which, if they'd have pushed him too far, he would have done that to him. But again, that would have been what he would have had to do to stop him.
And he ends up doing it anyway.
Decepticon says, I feel like Jeff Johns and Kurt Busiek tried to chase All-Star with the 8-issue up and away. It was varying degrees of misguided, bad, good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Busiek usually, and Johns. I did not like that story too much, Sean. I got to tell you, I was I don't know. I don't think they had a handle on Superman. Yes, I didn't really like that story too much personally. Yeah, and I hated all that new Krypton crap that Johns was starting. But yes. All that new Krypton stuff really got on. Why did there need to be 10,000 Kryptonians alive? Anyway, I hated that junk. So, again, like you said, it's episodic. Like we were saying, it's episodic. They deal with these guys pretty quickly, and then It's on to Luther, who he offers an olive branch to Luther. He tells him, "You win. I'm going to be dead. You've killed me. So you're getting what you want. You've always wanted me dead and all this stuff. Now you're getting it. And you always said how great the world would be without me. So while I'm gone, why don't you prove it?"
Yeah.
Basically, why don't you, with the time you got left, why don't you do something positive with it? And Luther's like, spits at him.
He spits at him. He freaking spits at him.
Evil little piece of crap. And one of the great things about this story is, as with many stories between Superman and Luther, you always a clever writer, and Morrison's been that from time to time, and Dwayne McDuffie has been that from time to time. Rest his soul. Can, with this dynamic, the Superman Luther dynamic, is you always set things up to make it look like Luther is 10 steps ahead of Superman, and he's just playing him, and he's too smart. Luther always treats him like he's just a muscle-bound moron, and then Superman always outwits him every damn time. And it was a thing of beauty when he does that to him later. Because you're watching this, and this, because they're clever writers, I think, they're able to make you almost bite into it, like, wow, Luther's just wiping the floor with him intellectually. Mark Lerseth, good to see you. And a little bit later, when Superman just, well, you know what he does to him. It was beautiful. Superman's smarter than you, Luther. You just think you're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I think it. I don't know. I would have changed up the ending a little bit. I mean,
well, Luther makes a deal with the Solaris. I always forget his weird. He had a weird name. The star, the tyrant star thingy, which is again a very old villain.
Solaris.
And, Solaris, right? It was Solaris, and he makes a deal with him and he basically turns the sun red, and he thinks he's won. I love that scene in the fortress when Soups, because when Soups goes and he gets, was it robot number 7, which is the one that he thinks betrayed him. The robot itself thinks it betrayed him, giving Lex superpowers. That the same serum that gave Lois superpowers. I just love that scene where he finds out, when all the robots go up there and help him. I love, that white outfit was pretty cool. I gotta admit. I wish I'd have got that figure. Man, they had a figure of that one, by the way. Of the white outfit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's
that'd be something unique to have.
There's an all-star Superman line of figures. I only have one of them, I think. Oh, here it is. Look, there it is.
Oh, dude, I would have. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's badass. Oh, that would suck. But that's the figure. I need to get that one day. They had a pretty good figure line from that. They've had Lois. So now we get to, basically by the end of the film, you said there was something you didn't like about the ending.
Okay. So, I mean, let's say I could change something. You have that whole thing.
Go ahead.
You have that whole thing at the end where Luther's talking to the doctor and he hands him the notebook, and it's like, it's Kal-El's genome. He calls it Kal-El or Superman's genome, and that they need a human ovum, and basically they could always have it. They could have a kid. They always wanted a kid. Yada yada yada.
Right.
Forget that. This is so like, oh, Superman taught me the way, and now I'm gonna do something good because he's dead. No. You have Luther fix what he did. You have Luther give him a way to go back and fix what happened that way. Superman never is in danger of dying, and none of that shit ever happens, because the last thing Luthor wants is him going out some kind of a giant hero. He doesn't want Superman to die a hero. He doesn't want Superman saving the world and giving his life up. He wants Superman to die beneath his boot. That is what Lex Luthor wants. So
He just wants him to die, I think.
So you don't have him do that.
He's supposed to beat him, though. He did beat him. He killed him.
But Superman won. He saved the world. There would have been, Lex would have died, and Lex doesn't want to die. Lex wants him to die. All that stuff is, I'm gonna die anyway, and blah 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 blah. That was all him blowing smoke up people's asses because he had that cure, or he had the formula to change his DNA to be superpowered for 24 hours. He had a way out.
Yeah.
So all that shit about him being okay dying, that was all horseshit. He knew he wasn't going to die.
Oh, yeah.
He was just setting all that up to take Superman out. He doesn't want someone else taking out Superman. We learned that anytime something's happened to Superman, and either when he got killed by Doomsday, and other times where he thought he was dead, no, he couldn't have it because he didn't get to do it. That's Lex Luthor, ladies and gentlemen. It's not okay for Superman to die if Lex Luthor isn't the cause. He wants to beat him. I beat the man nobody could beat. I took out Superman. I am the superior being. And if he can't have that, shit, turn back the clock and fix the mistake.
He is the cause. He's the one that sent him up into the thing at the beginning now. So he did kill him.
So
I don't know. Luthor did kill him.
It was just him being like, okay, here's the way to make another one.
Yeah. At the end, you mean? Yeah. The whole thing was, after that's what the scene where he gets the superpowers and he gets to see what it's like to be Superman. This is an Elseworlds type, after all. And once he's seen through Superman's eyes what it's like to be the powers, then he does that at the end. He told that, yes, I guess you have to buy into Luthor being a redemption story for Luthor, or you don't. And you don't. It sounds like you don't buy into it. I'm fine with it. It's an Elseworlds type story. I'm fine with that ending because, again, they explained it, I thought, pretty well when he's talking about, I can see everything. This is how he sees it all the time. And he changed at the end because he got the powers. The powers changed him after all those years of hating Superman. So I don't mind it. I think it worked for me. I can hear everyone. I can see how he can. I don't know. To me, it works. It's okay because, again, it's a one-off type story. It's definitely considered to be Elseworlds. I don't know. I don't mind that. I kind of like that. I think it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I don't mind them doing something like that. It's not how I would end Luthor in a normal parlance, I suppose, but I don't mind it being an Elseworlds type thing. So, worked for me. But I hear you. I understand. You're saying he shouldn't change.
No, it's Lex Luthor. There is no like, oh, I'm going to make another one. He doesn't want another one around. That's the last thing he wants is another Kryptonian around.
Yeah, I see your point, but like I said, in every other circumstance, yes, but this is a time where he actually got to see what the powers were like, and it changed him. So I'm fine with it. It works for the story. I have no problem with it. But I hear you. I'm not saying I would write that in a normal comic, but I'm fine with it for the story. However, what I don't really want him to do, I didn't want him to kill him. I would rather. I don't really. What I don't like about the ending is it's just. Remember earlier on, Superman talked about that machine where he was looking at his ancestors.
Yes.
From the future. I don't want to think they are from what Luthor did. I want to think he came back somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing they don't explain either in this.
No, they don't.
They explain in the comic is that Superman's like energy, and he's in there working in the sun, keeping the sun fixed, so it doesn't happen again. And he could come back. They don't really explain that in the movie at all.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, yeah, but that's why I don't like Superman to ever die. Decepticon says, The moment Luthor understands Superman by gaining his powers is a classic moment. He's obsessed with defeating Superman, but he's still smart enough to come to that particular realization. Yeah, I mean, it works for me in this story, but I understand. I mean, look, I don't like characters to change fundamentally necessarily, but again, it was a one-off story, and it was never going to be touched upon again, so I didn't mind it for that much. However, it worked for me in the movie even better. But the comic, here's the thing. Back when the comic came out, the last issue, they kind of left it open. We thought we were getting more. After the 12, we thought there was going to be a sequel series.
There probably should have been.
It should have been. And I guess at that time, we were so trained, 2008-ish to whatever the last issue came out. It took a little while for the comic book to come out. So I remember it took over the course of more than a year or two, whatever, for all 12 issues. I guess we were so trained by comics to never think anything ends that when it ended, the last issue, we just think, yeah, he'll be back. The story doesn't, Superman's not dead. He's never going to be dead. When you watch the movie, if you're just a normie or somebody who doesn't really pay much attention, it's meant to give people the impression, hey, he's gone and they're going to make some new ones. But as a comic book geek, I don't even feel that. When I'm watched even the movie, I'm like, he's coming back. Remember, Lois said it at the end of the movie. He's coming back. And so I just tend to let that just in my head. We're never going to get another movie. We're never going to get another comic. So I see it as he's coming back. At the end of the movie, he's coming back. I guess that's how I'm able to enjoy it more. And I don't even mind the stuff like they did to Luthor, but again, I can't blame you. It just doesn't affect me here. I guess it's because we're never going to get Superman back in any form whatsoever that I want him in, ever again. Hey there, Dad, man. Not ever.
Did you hear what Zaslav said about the Superman movie thing?
I heard him talk about Henry Cavill coming back.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
And he said
something really weird.
He said something about Henry. We haven't done a Superman movie in 13 years or whatever. Or 12 or something.
Which is Superman Returns, not.
Yeah, but that's more. That's like 16 years. So he's just getting his numbers wrong. But he hasn't done it. And then obviously he's giving a double entendre. He's saying that we haven't had a movie with the name of the title. Except, they did because with a BVS.
That Man of Steel wasn't a Superman movie.
He's saying that wasn't. But again, he's also kind of saying that BVS wasn't either. It has the word Superman in the title for that one.
So
I think he was saying both of them aren't Superman movies, which they aren't. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we might. I'm not gonna say for certain. I'm not gonna go, you know what? I think it's gonna be absolutely excellent. Zack Snyder's gonna come back. It's gonna be all these wonderful things. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, I'm maybe with James Gunn and with Zaslav and with people actually starting to give a shit about what the fans think and what the fans have been saying.
Oh yeah.
I've got a little bit of hope. Where before I'd have been like, F all these SOBs, I'll believe it when I see it.
Absolutely. Mark D with the C, what's up, brother?
Which is where I'm at with Marvel and Lucasfilm and Disney.
What I meant specifically is we're not going to get any continuance of this story ever again. That's what I meant. And we're never going to get Superman the way I want him again. Let's just be honest. This movie has everything from the Superman mythos that I love. It has, like I said, the Daily Planet looks like it's supposed to. He's not married to Lois. She doesn't know who he is. They're playing the old Clark, Lois, cat and mouse game, which is the way Superman. I grew up with loving Superman. In this case, only one of the Kents is gone, but that's okay. I mean, in the older, that's one of the things that didn't carry over from their Silver Age Bronze, as he was talking about, because Mom Kent's alive. And in this movie, Pa's already dead. The comic deals with that a little bit more. But for the most part, this feels like every bit of the Superman I grew up loving before they started screwing around with him in 1986 and beyond. So what I mean basically is I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to see. In other words, let's say, I like Henry Cavill as an actor. If they bring him back, make his costume look good, and they put him in movies where he actually acts like Superman, I'll take it. if the movies are decent. I'll take
Yeah.
it. But they're never good. I'm never going to get this. This is closer to any Superman that I love. I'll never get anything like this ever again, like this movie or that comic. I'll never get Superman. I'll certainly never get Superman comic books like that again, because Superman comic books like that again, they're just never going to come out again. They're not going to do it. They've destroyed them in the comics, and I'm never going to get any Superman animation. I'm never going to get any Superman animation either. So, and I, that you got that Lois and what's it, that Lois and Clark show, whatever, or Lois and Superman and Lois thingy that people seem to like. I just don't really care about it. It's got too much stuff I don't care about. So I'm never really getting him back. If they do movies that are okay with Cavill playing him and he looks good and acts like Superman, I'll take it. It'll be okay. So, but I see something like this from now, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
And it just, I watched this whole thing.
Resonates.
Yeah.
It resonates. It resonates as someone who loves DC and someone who loves Superman. It immediately resonates, where everything they've come out with over the past 16 years really kind of has fallen flat. You can say what you want about Batman Begins and about Dark Knight, but then you've got Rises, and it's just ugh. And it's like no matter what DC has done, they end up screwing something up. You talked about, well, they did this, 12 years ago. I still think you add a part 2 or a part 3 onto this, they're going to find a way to screw it up. That's been the problem.
Well, yeah. Sure.
They haven't been able to not do that.
No, absolutely, dude. Yeah. We take what we can get these days. And
Yes.
That's just I'm not going to get much of the way I want it anymore. I have to face that. I have to face the music right there. Certainly not from Marvel and certainly not from DC. Like I said, this Aslef guy, more power to him if he cleans things up a little bit. Of course, I were like certain people in your chat last week that were a certain bot. Snyder's coming back and he's going to do it and make me happy. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I can guarantee you. Wait for the earnings call. Snyder's coming back. No, he's not.
He's coming.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not coming. I've seen
Snyder's not coming back. I think I know who that was, and I think they were just trying to be a douche. So
look, I hope it was trolling, because if not, it's the person's living in fairy tale land. Snyder's not coming back.
No,
it might still suck, but he'll be sucked by someone else. Not him.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But anyway, so overall, I just find this to be, again, this movie, it's a joyous experience for me. It's glories in Superman. It glories in all the greatness of Superman. Yes. I actually never really thought about this too much, but I think Decepticon made a very good point that it's a shame it's about him dying. Just do a great story. He does have a very good point about that. Nevertheless, it doesn't detract from how much I love the movie, because I believe he's coming back. But I understand what he's saying. But it's sort of a last hurrah. I'd have sat still for 4 hours of this if they'd adapted the whole thing. The comic had a great issue. Like I said, the great 2-parter about Bizarro. Yeah, they even dealt with Superboy, for God's sake. Oh, man. It's just, man, I wish I could find some way to go back in time and ask these guys, could you just, adapt all of it, please? Come on, man. It's not going to kill you to adapt all of it, is it? Come on. Just, you can cut it to the same movie you have, and you can give me all the, just make my own cut for me.
Yeah.
The
Clobby cut. The Clobby
cut for the All-Star Superman. So you can't have everything, buddy. So, what are any more basic things you want to say about All-Star Superman, the movie?
Great Clark Kent, great Superman, great Kal-El of Krypton. You get 3 great types of Superman in this. You get the Clark Kent, you get the Kal-El of Krypton, and you get Superman. You can't ask for much more than that. A great villain. Well, guess what? You got it. You want a great Lois Lane. Well, guess what? Christina Hendricks did an absolutely wonderful job. Even though she's a crazy bitch
Is she?
in real life, She did a absolutely wonderful job.
Eddie Masterson, what's up, brother?
So I don't think you can't ask for much more besides more footage for Clobby.
Yes, I wanted the whole damn maxi series adapted. Damn it, and more damn it. But since they won't do that, folks, I will have to review the whole comic one day. And I will review All-Star Superman, all 12 issues of All-Star Superman. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got to be done.
It's got to be done. It has to be done.
Yeah.
You can come by and show them off on the round table. I wonder if 24 has them. I bet he does. But you got to do it. You got to show him.
He probably does. I've got to. I can't do that. He's got to do it.
Why? Why does he have to do it?
Camera, you know that.
Well, you just get a camera and point it down on your desk. Point it. Get a camera and hang it.
I'm too lazy to dig up my issues of it. I have all the regular issues, and I
tried, ladies and gentlemen. I tried. Get Clobby to show his hands. Get Clobby to show his hands on a live stream. It's like pulling teeth. Yep. It's like getting a Dega to guest for to talk about himself when we're talking about his books. Hey, can you come by and talk about yourself? Nope. Nobody wants to know nothing about that. Well, Clobby's like, nobody wants to see my hands, bitch.
No, nobody wants to see any. They don't want to see any of me. Trust me. But yes, I'm going to definitely review all 12 issues of the comics unless I find anybody willing to review them all. So with me, but it'll be a lot of fun.
I could go and get him. I would love to review them with you. I could go and get them. I know I don't have them, but that doesn't mean I can't go down to the store.
I can tell you where to find them if you want to just read them online.
All right.
Not that I ever do that all the time. I even have them. Even though I have them, I would still read them online just because it'd be easier to blow them up on the screen.
I didn't read the entire Injustice comic book series online. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
used to do that at night when I couldn't sleep when I was going through treatment. I used to sit up and read comic books. And sometimes I'd sit there all night until my show the next day and then do my show. So,
yeah,
one of those things.
Great stuff. So let's see here. What would basically, again, if you have any closing thoughts, and then we'll wrap up our review. We'll rate the movie. But anything you had not been able to say yet that you would like to say about All-Star Superman the movie?
No, I think I've put it all out there. You know how I feel. I really enjoyed it. I just would probably have liked to switch up the end just a little bit. Make it to where Luthor, instead of Luthor, I'll give him an heir. That's what I can do for my friend Superman. Instead of that, just doing the whole, you know what, I'm going to prevent this from ever happening because he didn't die the way I wanted to. That sounds a lot more like Luthor to me. I'm going to tell you how to undo this. I'm going to tell you how to fix this by making it never happen so that Superman doesn't die like this and I get another chance to kill him. I think that's a lot more Luthor-y than...
No, I totally agree with that. I was fine, and being kind of an Elseworlds type of a deal, I don't mind it that much. Sure. Let's take a look at our poll because you and I have been reviewing some of these DC anime movies as we mentioned at the outset tonight for a while now. And I had a poll. I don't know if you voted in it. I'm not allowed to vote, but
Clobby is not allowed to vote.
But unless you do polls on your channel, does it let you vote?
It does not.
Well, there you go. See, so I'm not allowed. And I guess I was asking because maybe there's some way I don't know how. Anyway,
no, you'd have to go on a different account.
Oh, okay.
What you'd have to do is you'd have to have another account, like another Clobberin Times account, and you'd have to go on that and vote for it.
Gotcha. Anyway, the question was, which DC animated movie do you like best? You only get 4 choices, folks, so don't hold it against me that it's not one of your favorites. I mean, did my best. The choices were All-Star Superman, Batman Under the Red Hood, Justice League New Frontier, or Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. And what a race, dude. It just so happens that in first place at 29% is All-Star Superman. And in a 3-way tie right now with 34 votes in, a 3-way tie for all the rest of them: Batman Under the Red Hood, Justice League New Frontier, and Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. Oh, it just changed.
26.
Now somebody else just voted.
You know what that was? That's my fault.
You voted. There you go. Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. You know what? I'm not sure how I would vote, to be honest with you. I love Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. We had a great time reviewing that one. I love all of these, obviously.
Absolutely.
I think I might vote for that one too. Only because you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of Batman and Superman together. As much as I love All-Star Superman, as much as I love Under the Red Hood, as much as I love Justice League New Frontier, which has some things in it that aggravate me, even though I love it, as we talked about, I would probably agree with you. I'd probably go with Public Enemies also, because, man, there's some fantastic, as we talked about, there's some fantastic, Batman, Superman stuff in it together. The two greatest superheroes of all are really, really good in it together. So
yeah, and the fight scene when they have that fight scene outside Public Enemy and they're just whipping the crap. It's one of those moments where you're like, holy shit, they trained for this. I can see them training for this in the space station, the Justice League station. Him and Superman and Batman fighting against, robots or whatever, and training to do the moves where they're literally like complement each other in a fight. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, good night, Apollo. Have a great night, dear.
Good night, Apollo.
Hope you're doing well out there. Chris Presley, you're probably right. I mean, if I put Mask of the Phantasm on there, I doubt anything would get close to it. I know I would probably have to vote for it. But okay, so what is your, I don't know how you want to do it. I usually like we do on a Silent Star Trek, we do like A, the A scale, A, B, C, D, whatever. I guess we could. Oh no, we can do numbers. We'll do numbers on these movies. I forgot. So the 1 to 10 scale. What are you on a 1 to 10 scale on All-Star Superman?
I'm giving an 8. It was really good. I think the ending could have been better, but for the most part, I think it was great. So 8.
I'm going to go with a 9.5, and I'm only going to ding it for the half because I even though I know they can't, they couldn't adapt to everything. I think it should have been a little bit meatier. There should have been a few more things that they threw in there. I totally understand you can't throw it all in there, but they couldn't have killed him to do another 10, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt him at all. Would not hurt the movie. The runtime wouldn't have been that bloated. And there really is really good stuff that they left out. So it could have been chunkier. The movie could have been a bit meatier in that respect. So I'm going to go with a 9.5 because it's still glorious. I mean, it's basking in a lot of the great, things about Superman that I love. So yeah, that would be the way I would do it. So, all right. So yeah, we rated it, man. There you go. And, while we have plenty of time here, maybe we want to start talking about what our next movie is to review.
I thought we were going to do Death in the Family.
And you guys, by the way, can give us your ratings if you have any.
Oh yeah, and give us an idea if you guys want to hear us talk about something besides what we were. If you guys want us to do something besides Death in the Family, by all means, let us know.
I still don't have any really access to it yet, but
I'm gonna send you a Blu-ray.
You don't have to do that.
I'm gonna do it.
I can borrow one probably.
I'm gonna send you a Blu-ray,
or find.
And that way you have it. And maybe it'll have one of those bonus DC things on it. And that'll make you happy.
You don't do that, dude.
Dude, they're like $5.
Really?
Give me just a second and let me, because I know it's not that expensive, especially on Amazon right before Turkey Day. They're gonna have all kinds of shit. Batman, Death in the Family. see.
Because, like I said, it's not very. The one I saw on HBO Max was weird. You just turn it on there and it doesn't give you anything other than.
No, yeah,
It
the
looks like it's
Blu-ray
just
is
a
what you
rehash
want.
of the Under the Red Hood.
Oh my god, I'm in audiobooks. Why the hell am I in an audiobook? Where the hell is my Amazon? There it is. Okay, I was in freaking whatever it is. I wasn't in Amazon. Son of a bitch.
What else we got out there that we haven't done yet, though? That's the thing. We're kind of running out as far as the DC animated feature movies are. There's still other DC animation for us to talk about, I guess.
Oh yeah, dude, it's $10. I'll send you a copy.
You don't have to do
I'll
that,
send
man.
you a copy. You can use a Blu-ray, right? It can be a Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Matthew Pounder. Yeah, that's one to do. We should all. Yeah, that one I have. The Dark Knight Returns two-parter. We could do that one day. If you only if you feel like it though.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. What else? What's another one that we have? Oh, we haven't done Batman Year One yet either.
I'm not. Yeah, we can totally do Batman Year One. I'm not gonna do, and I'm sure you'll be right along with me on this. God, what is it? It's horrible. It's like the worst one out there. Everybody hates it. I thought it was okay. I didn't exactly love it.
If you hate it, you know I'm gonna hate it.
It's the Joker one.
That Killing Joke trash?
Killing Joke,
hell no.
Okay, so no Killing Joke.
We can beat up on it if you want to. I don't mind that, but I don't really want to watch it crap again. I saw that at the theater, dude, the movie theater.
Red Sun was horrible. I don't know if you've seen Red Sun or not.
No, I've read the comic. I've heard that the movie was despicable.
I love the comic.
It's a good comic.
Yeah. A Battleman Ninja. I love Batman Ninja.
Yep. Killing Joke was definitely vile. Batman Ninja. Yeah, Matthew Pounder, that was awful. Hope you can review 2013 Necessary Evil Villains documentary. Or we've reviewed Superman versus the Elite, Oliver.
I heard Batman Hush was absolute trash.
Yes. Sean, yes, we reviewed Green Lantern Emerald Knights, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
Yeah, we have. Yes, sir. Yeah, we have reviewed that one.
There's Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And let me know how that turns out for you. Nothing against that. I'm not a Teenage Mutant Turtle hater or anything. I've heard people say that was pretty good.
Injustice was absolute trash.
No. The ones I've seen, let's see.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I convince you to watch The Death and Life of Superman and The Death and Return.
Is that the one you liked?
I don't.
I watch it for you. I watch it for you. You have to review
it's okay. At least it's got okay. My problem with the original was the Doomsday fight lasts all of 5 minutes, and then they come out with some clone Superman, and that's it. That's the whole movie. And Superman's got to come back and fight his clone. And you're like, you guys completely rewrote almost all of this and has Lex Luthor as the villain. And the only thing that even remotely resembles the comic is the fight with Doomsday, and that only lasts for like 5 minutes. So the two-parter they came out with, The Death and Return of Superman, was a lot better than the original Death and Return of Superman.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I would watch that with you, though. Okay, so let me answer some of the stuff people mentioning about some of these things. First of all, let's see. Kal-El says he would give it a 10 out of 10, meaning I can't blame you at all. They love it. He gives All-Star Superman 10 out of 10. Das Wolfen says, I give All-Star Superman a 9. There are only a few of the DCAU movies that were better than it. Says he agreed, and Steven also said, he said this movie really is. Oh, I started him twice, I think. So some people were saying, wait. Have you done? They're asking some questions. Have you done Justice League Dark? Do more, says Das Wolfman. No, sir. I think that's the one I turned on because everyone's kept telling me I needed to watch it. I turned it on and I got 2 minutes in and had to stop. I can't. I'll give you a little to give you some context. I don't begrudge anybody what they like. I hate Screw 52 with a burning passion. And I love we're talking about these animated movies that I love. And around not too long after the Screw 52 came out in 2011, these movies started adapting it, and they did a thing called Flashpoint Paradox. I know it's called Flashpoint Paradox. I don't give a shit. I hate it. And people like it. Fine, like what you want to like. I freaking hated it with a passion. And right after that, it went into as Flashpoint did in the comics. It dovetailed into the Screw 52 and all these movies, Apocalypse War, and Justice League. Oh, so Justice League War or whatever. All the movies after that point were adaptations. They're all Screw 52. They had the shitty Screw 52 costumes. They were all brutal, ugly, sadistic, ultimately trash. Only my opinion, and therefore I hate them. And I remember everyone was telling me, no. Yeah, but you got to watch that Justice League Dark, whatever. And I watched the first couple of minutes, Loki, and as soon as I saw Superman in that atrocious costume, and I saw like these villains doing these demon things that he's fighting and they're slaughtering people and stuff, I'm like, no. Fine, if anyone else likes them, that's cool, whatever. Not really cool with me, and for example, Oliver Belamonte mentions the 2017 Teen Titans Judas contract. My eyes would burn to shreds if I tried to watch that. Hello, Midnight's Oblivion. Good to see you. My eyes would shred in my skull because every time I look at any of this anything Screw 52, just in a comic, let alone an animated film, and with these horrible, shitty costumes that I hate, it makes me crazy. And to take a classic story like the Judas Contract from the Marv Wolfman, George Perez classic, the new Teen Titans in the 80s, to translate them to these shitty, horrible new versions of the so-called Teen Titans, make me want to punch the universe in the face. I throw a punch, and it hits so hard, the whole universe gets punched in the face, even me.
Don't blame
all of us. Oh, that's okay. Kelly, that's cool. So yeah, I'm a little bit prejudiced. Let's see. Donnie Pearson said, "Give All-Star Superman 10 out of 10 times superhero emoji." Thank you. There you go. Let's see. Rate of the Superman, and I didn't like Superman Unbound. I didn't like Superman Unbound personally. Oliver Belamonte, but I know my friend Deception likes it, so maybe I'll give it another watch. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
Superman Unbound. That's Brainiac. I don't like that version of Brainiac.
I have. Yeah.
Superman Man of Tomorrow sucks, by the way. Don't watch that one. Well, watch it if you want, but I'm just warning. That was one from relatively recent. Yeah, Fed Outsider says Jail Dark is way, way, way dark. Yeah. No, it is. Just I don't need it. I don't need that in my life. But people like that. The one I did watch of recently before we started watching some of these recent ones, like Batman Under the Red Hood. Batman Long Halloween. I watched a couple years back. Well, I watched that Superman Man of Tomorrow. That one sucks. We talk about soy boy Superman. It's really weird. It sucks. They did that. They did one that I thought I would like. It was called Justice League versus the Fatal Five, because it was, it looked like the old animated, Justice League Unlimited animated series, right?
Yeah.
And it had a Legion of Superheroes villains, the animated five, and the Fatal Five, and it had, in the animated film, they even had why they're fighting Legion villains. I still don't know why, but they had to ruin it by putting Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, in it. Skogli Jotun, good to see you. And so it looked sort of like the old Justice League cartoon, but it wasn't the same, and it was just ugly crap. I watched I did watch that stupid Harley Quinn one, whatever that was supposed to allegedly taking place after the animated series, but it was disgusting. Batman: The Killing Joke was disgusting, vile, filth.
They just don't care about. They don't care about what the fans want, what the fans are interested in. They don't care, and they're just going to do their own thing, and they're going to pat themselves on the back. Oh wait, they got fired. Never mind. People that made that shit got fired. Oh man.
Killing Joke. The problem was the first 20 minutes have nothing to do with it, and they have this disgusting shite with Batman and Batgirl, getting together, if you know what I mean, on a rooftop. Later at the Hall of Justice. No, later, when they adapt the regular comic, that stuff's okay. But by then,
later at the
Hall of Justice,
Superman's like, "You didn't Cosby, or did you?" Shut up, Clark.
That's what dude, story of my life. This has not started to happen to me. This has not really started to happen to me as it has in the rest of my normal life on YouTube until Boosh brought it up. Does Clobby like anything? No, I don't like anything. That's why we're here. We're doing a YouTube show about geek stuff because I hate geek stuff. I'm just gonna have to admit it to you all right now.
God,
I hate Superman. I hate The Thing. I hate the Fantastic Four and Star Trek and all these things that I claim to love. I really hate them all. Apparently. When you get that question, I go, wait a minute, because I'm naming a bunch of things that I dislike. I hate everything. People love to hear the negative.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I could sit here for 2 hours raving about something that I love, just think it's the best thing ever. But if I spend 15 minutes on something I don't like, things I don't like, boom. I know you were kidding, Boosh, by the way. It's just an example. I know you were kidding, Boosh, but it just brings up the question. And by the way, I want to know, does Boosh like anything? I'm chilling. Oh, dude, come on. You didn't take that seriously, did you, Boosh? Oh, man. But again, I didn't mean for him to take it seriously. So. But I was just kidding. I do hate everything. Because I'm going to tell you something. Hating everything is easier. If you think about it, he likes titties with it. Well, who doesn't? I mean,
titties and beer.
That doesn't count. Titties don't count, Boosh. I mean, everyone loves those. Come on. But see, if you hate everything, though, I will tell you this: it's cheaper. You know what I mean? Oh shit. But you know what? It's funny. We've only reviewed these movies that we like. Right?
Oh God, what's gonna happen when we get to the trash?
I mean, do you want to do the trash?
I don't know. I enjoy talking about stuff I like.
Yeah, I know.
Once in a while is not bad. No.
Right? Yeah. Like for example, when we were just naming stuff I don't like now, we weren't really making the show about what in other words, this is a show about some things that we love. But I did just criticize a bunch of stuff. But it's not like that's what the show was. Tonight, I'll be criticizing this, that, and the other, or whatever. It was just happened. It came up in conversation. But I guess, yeah. You think we should review Red Son? No.
No, God. I'm not watching that again.
Boosh said, don't watch Red Son. Oh, I thought you said do watch it. He said, don't watch it. I've heard that, by the way, Boosh. And I read the comic was good, but it's been a long time since I read the comic.
The comic's good. I got the comic. The comic's good.
God, no.
But the movie sucked.
What if they didn't? I heard they also screwed up Gotham by Gaslight.
They did
because they ruined the ending or some shit. I usually get warned by now. See, look at Chris Persia. Actually, is evil though because Chris Persia is trying to get me to watch. Was it Beware My Power? Which one is that, Chris? I've heard about that new Super Sons when somebody wants me to watch it. A friend of mine has it. I think Minimus has it. But anyway. So what is it? That's that new Green Lantern one that they screwed everything over in it. I think it's called Beware My Power. It's about Jon Stewart.
Yes.
And they basically
yes.
give him, they make him the hard one. They give him the classic old stories, or they change everything around in it, and they put him in stories that were originally Hal Jordan or some kind of.
Yes. Yeah, let's
crap.
do that.
Are you kidding? You want to do that?
We'll just appropriate. No, hell no.
Oh.
I was saying no. Yeah, let's just do that. Let him appropriate the achievements and deeds of Hal. That way he can't be his own character. I love that idea.
I hear you. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize what you're saying. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, no, we shouldn't watch that. I watched. What's another one to watch? I watched the Justice Society one, hoping that would be good. And it's just.
Oh, the one where they go back in time?
Yeah.
Some of it I liked, but yeah. No.
There was some okay stuff in it. Have you reviewed Doom? You mean Justice League Doom, Boosh? Yes, loved it. I love that one.
We got almost all the really good ones already.
I think we have. We're getting close to the bottom of the barrel there.
Yes.
Yeah, Beware My Power is the atrocity to everything GL. You sure you want me to watch it, Chris? Healy Chow, what's up, dude?
What's up, Keely? Roll Tide, brother.
Decepticon says, off the beaten path, maybe revisit Filmation / Gordon the Greatest Adventure of All. If you could find it. It's one of my favorite things ever. It is on YouTube because you can't get a legal copy of it. I got a bootleg. I've watched it 10 million times. It's total greatness, Sean. And if I will find someone to review that with me, I will review that soon. Good call. Because I've been meaning to review that for a while. I love Flash Gordon, the Greatest Adventure of All. It's pure Alex Raymond. Dude, you sound tired, man. You had a long day or what?
Sorry.
That's right.
Did you hear me yawn? Fuck, I'm sorry.
Oh, man, you're just a tired dude. You got to get up early and stuff. We can wrap it up.
So what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch next time?
We'll be on your channel, so we can let you pick. If you want, I mean, I'm willing to do the.
Okay.
If I see
that, because we were doing Batman, Superman
movie
back and forth for a little bit. Let's do that. We'll close out our Batman, Superman back and forth
with Death in the Family.
With Death in the Family, I will send you a copy, and I will send you a copy in the next week. And just make sure you have time because, dude, it's more like I told you, it's more than just a movie. It is a click-through adventure. It is create your own adventure.
I'm not sure
anything.
I can't wrap my brain around stuff like that, but I'll try for you. Oh, by the way, now that you mentioned someone, by the way, Justice League Gods and Monsters. No, I don't like the concept, Ironhide. I was so instead of doing, I didn't watch it. So if it's good, that's fine. I hate the idea behind it. I hate everything about the premise. And I hate the fact that Bruce Timm would waste that kind of animation that looks like the old Justice League cartoon on something that isn't like the old Justice League cartoon. But that's just me being weird. Matthew Pounder mentioned something, that reminded me. There's a Wonder Woman animated film that was pretty good from back then.
Okay, we can do that.
You know that one?
Do that in the future. No, I don't. I'm not a giant Wonder Woman.
Oh no, I was just saying. It was one of the ones back then that was still pretty good, though. I thought.
Okay.
I thought it was good. We don't have to. We can do it later, but I'm just saying. Yeah, but that's true. Matthew Pounder was Wonder Woman guest starring the JSA. Yes. Oh crap. Yeah, the 2019 one. Excuse me, 09 one. Sorry, 2009 one. Oliver says, yeah. So, so you want to stick with the go with Death in the Family?
Yep, we'll do Death in the Family, and dude, there's even like a really cool thing where Dick Grayson meets what's the other Robin after Dick Grayson?
Timmy Drake.
Yeah, Tim Drake. There's even a really cool like side scene where a whole different reality where Robin becomes where Dick Grayson becomes Batman and Tim Drake's his Robin. And you're like, holy shit, they really did like just do every possible like reality to see what would happen. Oh, well, if you don't choose this, then this happens, and no, you got to do this for this to happen. And dude, the movie's got like 20, 30 different endings. So
wow.
And like you've seen the actual ending. So if you do everything the way it's supposed to, it's It's Bruce and Clark sitting in a coffee shop talking about what happened.
Well, I don't know what
And
the hell
he's
that
just
was.
like,
I saw.
there's nothing you can. And Clark tells him there's nothing you could have done.
I don't know what the hell that thing is. I saw on HBO Max. Then weird. So, yeah, well.
But yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, tell everybody what you got going on there, Luke. This has been fun, man. I always love talking these movies with you.
Mornings of Mischief, guys. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Over on Loki's Mornings of Mischief, I do it's almost like a kind of like a pop culture meetup. We talk movies, TV, games, animation, comics, kind of a little bit of everything, which is probably why I'm still at 2,000 subscribers, because YouTube doesn't know what the hell to do with me. But we cover kind of everything, and we talk about everything, and we just try and have a good time each and every morning. It's your driving to work show. If you love pop culture, if you love comics, if you love video games, movies, TV, if you hate the shit these people have been doing lately, come check us out. We'd love to have you on.
There's a link in the chat there. Thank you, Deep Bud. Appreciate it, buddy. Please, if you have not already subscribed to Loki, all of you probably have, but if you haven't, please do so. And let's see here. I guess tomorrow night I might be on. I guess maybe I'll be on for a bit with the Midnight's Edge gang. So I go out there and hang with Tom sometimes, and I know there's no Toxic Tuesday for Nicholas tomorrow night because of what's going on in the world. So, but Wednesday night I'll be back for the Wednesday night wild card Wednesday night, and we'll see. Thursday night the Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark, of course, and then. Friday night, I'll hang out with the comic shop boys, of course, Nicholas and the gang. And then Saturday night, Star Trek, the big one, of course, with 4 more episodes to review of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, you guys are getting close to the end.
Oh, man, we're halfway through the 3rd season. It's still got a long way to go.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Season, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were the only 4 more episodes to go till you're done with this series.
Oh, no.
Damn, you guys flew through DS9.
Yeah. Oh, that would be something. But no, 4 more. I mean, less than 4 more we do 4 a week. So, but yes, sir, that's going to be a while.
It's just plain simple Garrick.
Plain and simple Garrick. You saw that, huh?
Oh yeah.
You saw my Garrick hello thing?
No, I haven't.
You kidding me?
No, I was just playing. You had Garrick on the corner.
Garrick birthday thing?
I
have a good buddy of our show, good friend of our show, called Max Redstone. He comes in on the shows and he always writes these nice like for an episode, he'll write limits for the episode that when he's able to make it. Sometimes he can't make it every time. When he makes it, it's always fun and entertains the audience. I read it to them and stuff. And Max, back for my birthday, it came back like a month out after my birthday, but he got this for my birthday. He had this made for me, and it's Garrick, and I'll play it for you right now. Take a look at it.
This is a birthday limerick for clobbering times from Max Redstone. Just Garrick. Friends Romans, Cardassians, lend me your ears. I'm a plain, simple tailor, and you should have no fears. You might think that Jadzia is fine, or that Cisco's divine. But I'm the interesting one to watch for the next several years. Happy birthday from Andy Robinson and obviously from Garrick.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
I thought I'd showed you that before. Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
That
was very nice of him.
Awesome.
Yes. Plain and simple Garrick.
Plain, simple.
What a great character he is. Yeah, it was very nice of the great Max Redstone. I was touched. I mean, that's above and beyond the call right there.
Okay.
Very, very cool. That is a good feller. So, yeah, and he, of course, is a great actor. Yeah. He's great. Garrick is a great character. What's that?
I didn't say anything.
No, Phantom says, was Luther's villainy ever more on display than in the Great Brain Robbery? Oh, God. That was from, the Justice League the Justice League cartoon from the Justice League Unlimited. That was a great episode. Yeah, we should do some of those. I don't know. Maybe we should try to tackle that show one day or whatever.
We do that.
That was a great one. So, all right, everybody. Well, look, that wraps up our review. There's not really much else going on tonight. I know everybody, probably want to get out a little bit early tonight. We'll let everybody out because it's Loki has to get up early in the morning to do his show. So I don't have to get up early in the morning. I got to get up early to go to work though. So yeah, Taco Tuesday. So we'll cut out a little bit early. By the way, also there's links in my descriptions below for all these great channels. Thank you, Keely. Appreciate you all for being here. Maddie's daddy puts the link there. Yes, please go to Mark D with a C's channel. We had a great time at his channel last night. Talking about all kind of geek stuff on the Sunday Night Geekery. And thank you all for being here. Of course, big shout out as always to the great wrenches, Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia, Eric K, the Bronze Wrencher, of course, and of course the Wrench of Iron, D, Bud Martin. Thank you both so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, and thank you. I want to thank everyone for visiting with us tonight. Let's go. I'll go ahead and close the poll up now. We'll finish that up. Let me refresh it. Then we'll let everybody skedaddle. Let everybody off early tonight. How about that? Give everybody an early night. Because next week, let's see. Oh, in 2 weeks, by the way, my buddy J-Man will be joining me for a special, another Clobby's Classic Comic review. And it's going to be really weird. We like to pick really obscure. Loki, we pick like these one-off issues that are really insane, crazy ones. And I got the craziest comic, one of the craziest comics ever written, in terms of just the nuttiest story you're ever going to imagine. It's a mind-blowing, crazy story about the insane Bob Haney. So it's going to be Brave and the Bold number 124. Nice. Everybody, Batman and Sergeant Rock from the,
Nice.
And it's the nuttiest story you're ever going to see, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So here we go. Our scintillating poll for the evening, folks, was the question was
how many people voted?
The 42 votes. The
42 votes.
The question was, which DC animated movie do you like best? In first place with 30% of the vote is Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That wasn't in the lead. That was tied with the other three.
Man.
The All-Star Superman was in the lead.
But now all the votes in at 42, the answer. In second place, with 26% of the vote, would be All-Star Superman.
Nice.
In third place, with 23% of the vote, is Batman Under the Red Hood. And in fourth place, with 19%, is Justice League New Frontier. They all did very well, though. I mean, that's pretty close.
It's all close. It's all really close.
They're all really good. So there you go. So that's great stuff. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate you. And it's just amazing to hang out with you. We'll, of course, we shouted everybody up when they came in. And, of course, I'll shout you. We shout just the new shout-out policy is I'll do it at the beginning of the show because at the end, everybody's ready to get moving. So, and then except those Saturday nights, we do it both. Saturday nights, we do it both in and out there, so to speak. So, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope if you have not seen All-Star Superman, please go out and see it. And
Chris Persia blames me.
What did he do now? What?
You said hashtag blame Loki for the shift in power.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I love Public Enemies, so it's just I think that's one of the best movies they made. But it's the dynamic with Superman and Batman. Anytime they're teamed up and good cop, bad cop, I absolutely love that team up. So
yeah, that was just. I mean, I want to watch that again right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's greatness. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Enjoy these closing messages and then credits. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Clobberin. It's clobbering time.